Hello everyone, this is Max. You're watching Equity Match online live pitch event. Today, as always, we have four great founders coming from US and Europe, as this pitch event is done for the West zone of the world, let's put it this way. And before introducing our great founders, let me introduce to you our investor guest today, Dean Jones. Dean, please, if you want to give a short intro, you will be
Sure.
much better than me.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dean Jones. I am a partner here in Dallas, Texas, for a company called Playbook Investors Network. I would like to thank all who are participating today in this event. I look forward to hearing their pitches.
Thank you so much, Dean. So before I'm starting introducing our founders, you can watch now on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook as you're doing. We shortly will be streaming on X or Twitter as you want. And also, if you want to come to pitch, just send your email to pitch@equitymatch.co. We are more than pleased to welcome you. Any question for founders, just raise them and we bring to our founders, and then we are more than happy to answer. Actually, please make some questions so we can engage more with our audience. Now, as we start, I'm going to introduce our first founder, OIumide A-Balogun, co-founder and CEO of Helpmewaka, Washington, D.C., US, era sector, Serie A round, $2 million in dollars USD is the ask. How's it going, OIumide?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much, Max, and of course, everyone for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Please give an introduction to yourself, go straight to pitch, and when finished, Dean will follow up with the Q&A. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, let me just go ahead and just bring up my slide here. Let's see here. All right, perfect. So, Dean, of course, thank you so much for joining. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is OIumide A-Balogun. I'm actually one of the co-founders of a beautiful platform called Helpmewaka.com. I'm a diasporan. You know, I've been in the US for 2+ decades, and we thought about what can we do for people in the diaspora. One question I always ask people is this: you know, that do you know that over 440,000 people immigrate from Africa every year? You know, that's someone like me, like my sister, my brothers, my friends, you know, so we move over to different countries. And, you know, when we move over, there are things that, you know, we still have ties over there. We still need to have things done over there. And my partner and I, we said, you know what are the problems that diasporans face? And I'm just going to go through all the 4 problems that we actually have highlighted here. You know, it's actually very expensive to fly back to Africa. You know, I know right now to go to Africa in December is roughly about $2,000–3,000. You know, we lose time going back. You know, there's difficulty of finding reliable individuals and companies that can do things for us. Lack of clarity. You know, I want something done. I want it to be clear. And of course, privacy. I don't want to just call anyone to get things done for me. I want to do things at my own time and let it be private. And we sat down and we said, hey, what can we do? We came up with a solution. It's called Helpmewaka.com. It's pretty much an errand service platform. What we do is we run errands for you. You can sit in your home, relax, and just go on our websites and get, you know, we can get the things done for you. We started operations in 2019, and we've been growing steadily since then. I'm just going to go ahead and just list some of the services that we offer. You know, so you can go on our platform. You know, put in your order. We can help you to deliver groceries to your loved ones. You need to get transcripts from schools. I know people are wondering, what exactly do you mean by get transcripts? That's a problem in Africa, you know, so we can help you to go to the schools to do it. You need to have insurance, you know, for your loved ones. You're a business abroad and you need to do certain things in Nigeria, you know, or Ghana or Cameroon. We can help you to do business and research. And of course, miscellaneous, you know, so if you don't exactly know what you need, just come, put the notes down, and we can craft out a solution for you. This is our business model. As you can see, Helpmewaka is in the center. So it's a very, very simple process. You know, we have our website, we have our app. The prospective customer would actually go on the website, register. Once they register, they place their order. Once the order is placed and payment is made, the system automatically assigns the task or the errand to are vetted. When I mean vetted, because security, we have to be conscious, are vetted contractors. The contractors go out, they get the jobs done. Once the job is done, they upload it to the system, using our app. We verify, we close it out. If you look towards the bottom left-hand side of the screen, we have agent field sales. These are people that more or less like our advocates. We have agents that will go out to talk about us, to let people know exactly what we do. And of course, the vendors, are the people that we buy things with. We've partnered with several companies out there. Market fit, as of today, we have roughly over 10,000 plus registered customers. Average order size is about $157. Customers acquisition for both paying and registered customers, you can see, is like $10, $5. That's actually very low because of the way we've been doing it. This is actually the addressable market size. As you can see at the bottom, it's roughly about 3.4 million people. What we did here was to break it down by country. So I'm going to use Nigeria as an example. If you look on the first row, Nigeria, look at where it says US, we have roughly about 380,000 people that we can actually market to in the US. This is actually a rough projected revenue for the next 5 years. Our goal is based on the 3.4 million people that we mentioned, as the market size. We just need a penetration rate of about 0.5%. And with that, we should be able to generate a profit of roughly about $564,000. And that goes on to 2019 and all that. This is actually the market adoption, showing all the different people that we can market to. So roughly about 21 million people. This is actually the crutch of it. We're asking for $2 million. What is this going to be used for? We need to market. This is actually no longer an MVP. It's a proven system. So we need to market, we need to expand, and we need to grow. That is the key thing. I'm just going to quickly touch on the leadership team. That's me. My co-founder's name is Adedoye Akiniro. Omobola Akinola is the business development manager, and Femi Moses is actually the country operations manager for Nigeria. Once again, I would like to say thank you on behalf of myself and my team and the company and my co-founder, to EquityMatch for making us come on live, to pitch what we have. Thank you so much, and over to you, Max.
Thank you, OIumide. Thank you so much. Actually, we are already live on X, so we got another milestone. Now we go live on X, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I'm very pleased. Thank you so much to EquityMatch team. Dean, I leave you everything to you. Maybe I will make a question when you finished. Thank you. You're muted.
Sorry about that. Let me ask my questions here. What kind of investors are you specifically looking for in this round?
We are more or less looking for equity investors, or that's the key thing for us. We believe that finding the right, not just investors though, we believe that finding the right match, we've already done the work, people that will come in, equity wise, and of course, to lead us more like in a strategic way. At this point, we've done what we can do. We're constantly doing things, but we're looking for good partners that can come in and get us to the next level.
Okay. I noticed from your deck that there was nothing mentioned about competitive solutions in Africa. Can you speak to why you didn't mention any competitive solutions to kind of give us an idea of what's available now and what you're competing against?
That says, that you're spot on. That's true. The reason why we didn't put that in there is there are companies that do similar things to what we do, but we don't have it. We actually the only one in Africa, when I'm in Africa, in Nigeria, Ghana, and Cameroon, that we offer errands, that not just groceries, that, so pretty much there's really no company that's doing what we're doing. Our only major competition is, we always say to our, on my team, families and friends. So instead of you coming on my platform to do X, you can use your families to do it. There are other companies out there that they just specifically just focus on one unique thing. We do groceries, or maybe they're just doing transcripts from schools. But we said, how can we make ourselves the Amazon of everything, that when you think of errands, you come to us?
Okay. And how are you planning to spend the money that you're trying to raise to expand internationally?
Yes. So we're seeking for $2 million. The main thing is, like I mentioned in the pitch, we're no longer doing MVP. We've already passed that stage. It's already a trusted and proven system that works. We have people using it. And how do we get to the next level? We need to advertise. We need to start, hiring, AI people that can help us expand things. We need to start thinking more. We need to, there's so many, I'm in Washington, D.C. Last year I was in over 37 different cities. We need capital to be able to grow, to be able to expand into all these other places. And then, of course, in Africa, right now we're in 3 different countries, Nigeria, Ghana, and Cameroon. Our goal is to be in practically every single country over there. So we need the fund to be able to get to the next level.
How will you build and vet the trusted vendor partner community you plan to deliver your service model?
So how do we vet them? Is that what you said?
Yeah, how do you vet them?
Okay, so right now we have roughly about 300 and something 300 something. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me go back. Are we saying the contractors or the vendors? Let me just.
The vendors.
The vendors.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect example. Anyone that comes on our sites, before we let them in, say for example, we have the health insurance. We have to make sure we do all our due diligence. That's part of the things we do. So anyone that's coming on our site, you have to trust us. So if we don't really know you deeply, so we do all the checks from who is the owner of the company, what have you done, what is the background, what is your fine, we check everything. One good service that we have now, it's the we have a way that you can monitor health devices. So we partner with a company that they have the huge reputation of providing the best services. So there are so many companies that are still trying to join our platform, but we always have to make sure that is it the right fit? Are we going to have problems with them? Do they have any problems? Do they have any issues? So we always make sure everything is done. I'm one here and I'm a diasporan, and if I cannot use my service, I cannot let any other person use it. So all the vendors must be vetted properly.
Is this an automated process, or it sounds very manual?
It's an automated process. It's very, very simple. Once they go on the site, they place the order. We automatically assign the task to the contractors. They get the job done. The contractors upload what, say for example, they deliver groceries. They upload the pictures and the delivery notes, and automatically it goes to the customer. So that's the next step for us, is how do we use AI? So I'm an IT specialist. So that's the next thing that we're looking at. How do we make things, seamless as much as possible?
Gotcha. And then from a logistics standpoint, I mean, you have high ambitions, right? You mentioned Amazon. How do you plan from a logistics standpoint to deliver? Have you built your own platform, or are you leveraging somebody else's platform?
So when I use the word Amazon, right, so Amazon, when we say Amazon, it's going to be like something that encompasses so many things together, meaning that when you think of us, we are the ones that will basically do things. Now, in terms of platform, we, as of today, those 3 countries that I mentioned, we can get anything done within 24 hours. So we already have the system in place. We have over 200 and something people just in Nigeria. So every single state and city, we have people that can get things done. So say, for example, a company in the US wants to do things in Nigeria and they want to sell a particular, type of service, we are the right people they can come to, because we already have people in all those places that have been vetted and can get those things done.
So let me give you an example. So if I'm trying to get like wine, right, from South Africa, I know that you're not operating there now. I'm just giving you a fictional example. How would you go about doing that?
If you're trying to get wine, is that what you said?
Yes, wine, yes.
All right, the way you said something, when you said, okay. So in Nigeria, we have, like I mentioned, you're a customer, you go on the site, you put in the request. So things like that we don't already have, that's why we have the miscellaneous section. You just tell us, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get this particular type of wine. Maybe it's Prosecco, is anything out there. What we'll do is we'll do the investigation for you, find out the prices, find out the cost, tell you what it is. You just need to make the payment to us. Let us know where you need to have it delivered to, and that's it. 24 hours will get the job done.
Great job, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you, being on the show with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Lumida. I'm not going to ask anything because we've been already overwhelmed by questions. So we have a limited time. We just did 60 minutes. So thank you so much, Lumida. I'll move it to our second founder, Jurij Dreo, co-founder and CTO of BrainTrip, based in Malta, Naxo. Healthcare, seed round, and asking 1.2 million in euro. How's it going, Jurij?
It's going great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. Please, if you want to give a short intro and go to page, and Dean will follow up. Thank you.
My name is Jurij. I'm the co-founder and CTO of a company called BrainTrip. We do translational neuroscience. I studied medicine in Ljubljana. I transitioned into the let's say startup world in 2017, and yeah, I haven't looked back since. Hopefully the products that we've developed will be of great use to the hundreds of millions of people with brain diseases and disorders. So again, we are BrainTrip, and we do scalable brain scans. How? We do it by unlocking the medical potential of brain waves. What's the problem? The problem is that most brain diagnoses are still stuck in the 19th century. And what do I mean by that? I mean that for 92% of brain diseases, we currently lack a brain-based test that is confirmatory, useful for early detection, and widely clinically available. Only for 8% of diseases are brain scanning like CTs, MRIs, and EEGs already widely used. That's the problem. And the current brain diagnostics market, that's the 8% of cases, is valued at about 20 billion euros a year. The solution to this is EEG, because EEG is the only technology affordable and scalable enough to address this problem. It's 100 times cheaper than the next competitor. And if that's the case, why aren't we already using EEG to detect most brain diseases? Because there are 4 barriers for broader EEG adoption. The first one is hardware, which is traditionally very expensive. The second one is the recording process, which requires highly trained personnel and months of onboarding. The third is that the processing of EEG data requires PhD level knowledge. Basically, you need a neuroscientist. And the fourth is that the EEG results are very subjective, hard to interpret, and that's not scalable. So at BrainTrip, we've built a neuro AI platform that solves 3 of these problems. The first one, the hardware, is already addressed by other companies. So we don't build any hardware. We use off-the-shelf EEG hardware. We're a software company, and our neuro AI platform software addresses the problem of EEG recording by offering machine-assisted recording, which requires a mere 4 hours of onboarding time. Our platform also offers automatic EEG analysis, which we call a neuroscientist in the cloud. And the results obtained are objective and easy to interpret, which makes all of this eminently scalable. So the market potential of EEG without the neuro AI platform is limited to very rare brain diseases like epilepsy and sleep disorders, which amount to less than 1% of all diseases. But with BrainTrip's neuro AI platform, we've already expanded this by a factor of 20 from epilepsy to dementia. And honestly, the sky's the limit here. We can apply our technology to all brain diseases. This is the first product that is founded on the neuro AI platform. It's called the BrainTrip Dementia Index. It's not a prototype. It's a CE marked medical device already on the market and being used. The BDI test detects dementia in its earliest stages, and the test is non-invasive, it's fast, it's scalable, and it's highly accurate. So what's next for us? First, we want to make the BrainTrip Dementia Index a commercial success. We want to roll it out as fast as possible. And then we want to develop other products which are based on the Neuro AI platform, products for other brain diseases like depression, anxiety, ADHD, and so on. We're seeking 1.2 million as a seed investment round, which we hope to close before the end of this year. About 400K of this funding we want to use for running costs to extend a runway by 18 months. Then we want to spend about 100K on regulatory compliance. So the BDI is already marked as a CE medical device in the European Union. We want to apply for FDA marking as well. We want to spend about 200K on furthering BDI and Neuro AI sales. So we want to hire more sales people. But the biggest chunk of funding, about €500,000, we want to spend on something we call the pharma push. Because to really scale what we've developed, we can't just go from doctor to doctor, hospital to hospital and try and sell this. What we want to have a large pharmaceutical partner on board, a large pharmaceutical partner that preferably recently put a new dementia treatment on the market. And we want to convince them that our product is the best way for them to increase their market share. And that's what the biggest chunk of funding is to be used for. So please help us unleash the potential of EEG to detect, monitor, and help treat most brain diseases and disorders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jurij. Dean, I leave everything to you. I have only one question, and after I'm going to shut down my mouth.
Oh, you go ahead and ask your question first.
I'm not talking at all. But so far, why EEG has not been used so extensively when it comes to brain? What is the barrier? Why it is not there yet?
So neuroscientifically, there are thousands of papers telling us that you can use EEG for schizophrenia and dementia and anxiety and this and that, but none of this get translated into clinical practice. And we've identified 4 barriers. So the clinical hardware being too expensive, that's one we don't address, right? Because other companies are already doing that. But we believe there are 3 key barriers. Number 1 is that recording EEG requires personnel that takes years to train. That's a significant barrier. Secondly, recording EEG is just the first step. Once you have the raw data, you need to process it. You need to separate the wheat from the chaff. And to do that, you basically need to be a neuroscientist. And those are also not scalable. It's very manual. It's very labor intensive to do EEG processing. And the third problem is that once you clean the data, you record the data, you clean the data, now you have to interpret it. And traditionally, this was also done manually by highly trained personnel, which makes the data interpretation subjective, but also not scalable. And what we've done is we automated 1, 2, and 3. So all of these steps, we automated them and put them in the cloud. And that's why what we believe, will be finally able to leverage EEG for brain diseases.
Thank you so much, Jurij. Dean, your wife, if I remember, is a doctor, so I think
I've got a lot of questions for this young man. So let's start here. At what age are you recommending that people get tested on your product?
Well, if you're talking about dementia, of course, this is our first CE marked product. We think that starting at the age of about 50 is probably a good idea, because that's when the risk of dementia starts going up exponentially and doubling every 5 years. So at age 50, your chances of having dementia are less than 0.5%, but then in a couple of decades, they go up to 30 or 40%. So it's good to start early, because the new treatments, the new neuromodulatory treatments that came on the market just a few years ago are way more effective if you detect the disease early on. So early detection is key.
Okay. You mentioned cloud. So whose cloud framework are you using?
Currently, we use AWS, but we're cloud agnostic. Actually, I heard you have a connection to Microsoft. We're more
Used
than
to work
willing to
there, my
migrate.
friend.
We're more than willing to migrate to Azure. I think is the
Yeah.
that's their cloud. So yeah, we're agnostic to the underlying infrastructure. We can migrate easily.
Okay. And you were looking, what's the time frame that you're looking to expand into the U.S. market?
So we have a straightforward 5-1. I always forget the 5-1K. I think is the 5-10K or something. I always forget the exact number. We have a pathway for this regulatory framework, and the question is time, of course, because it takes a while for the FDA to arrange everything with you and for you to be able to prove everything to them. We plan on starting this in the next 6 months and having it done about a year later. So a year and a half from now, we hope to be in the US.
So which big pharma companies here in the U.S. have you approached about partnering?
In the US, none yet. We've basically been waiting a bit, publishing our papers and so on. But the biggest one is probably Biogen, because they have the lecanemab treatment, and and then it's Eli Lilly because they have the donanemab treatment, the other one. So
Okay.
these are the two key players in novel treatments for Alzheimer's disease, and they are our natural allies, because the diagnostic criteria for their new treatments basically say that you can only give it to patients if you detect them very early in the disease's course, and you need to have confirmation of amyloid pathology, which basically our test can enable at scale.
Have you done any testing around athletes and performance with that product?
So yeah, I do understand that in the NFL, there's been a huge debate about concussions, head injuries, and the potential for dementia. We are just like doctors and neuroscientists in the company, but we'd very much like to talk to people connected to professional athletes, because we think that our product can also offer them a lot in terms of, let's say, reassurance or early detection of issues if they arise. But we don't have anyone in the company with connections there. So if somebody listening to this can help us out, we'd be very happy to talk to these people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very interested in what you built there, my friend.
Very good, very good. So yeah, the connection of professional football and dementia is something very interesting to us.
Well, some of my partners are former athletes, so that's why I'm asking. And
Good.
that's why I was asking, what the age group was, where this starts out, because most of these kids that play American football actually play at young ages. They started at 7 playing tackle football here in the U.S. So they're getting pounded. And imagine you're not even a professional athlete yet, and you've already gone through high school, then college, and now you're in the pros, and you've had a lot of hits, right?
Yeah. So honestly, that is a different use case. And when I was answering my question, I was answering for kind of the age-related dementia that develops due to. But if you're talking about head injury, then of course it makes sense to start way earlier. Of course, that's a different use case, and there's no technical reason why you cannot test anyone. Even people who are in their early 20s. It's just that the typical use case was age-related dementia and not injury-related cognitive impairment. And if it's that, you can easily test people earlier.
Gotcha. So, I mean, what's preventing you guys from doing larger studies right now?
It's one word. It's money. It's money. It's money. Doing clinical trials, especially the kind of clinical trials that will convince the pharmaceutical industry, it just takes hundreds of thousands of euros, and we've never had access to that kind of funding. So that's basically the major reason for this investment round. That's the 500K, the €500,000 chunk of our ask, of our 1.2 million ask. It's basically, that's funding for a very convincing clinical trial that will demonstrate to the pharmaceutical industry, yes, you can use our test for early prescription, for early detection, and that's what we actually need, some funding.
So do me a favor, because I don't have the pitch deck that you just showed. I need to get a copy of that. And if you can just reach out to the team and send that to me, I would greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you so much, Yuri. Stay with us because we're bringing all of you guys back. Meanwhile, I'm going to introduce our founder number 3. I don't like to use numbers, but just to give a sequence. Fabio Muroni, founder and CEO of Weavii. Headquarters is Berlin, Germany. Arts, entertainment, professional network, ways of working, AI, and blockchain. Pre-seed 1.2 million euro is the ask. How's it going, Fabio?
Oh, good. Thanks for the intro, Mash.
Thank you so much for coming.
Hi.
Please
Can
go.
I start?
Of
Yeah,
course.
hi, Dean. Hi, everyone. I'm Fabio. I'm the founder and CEO of Weavii. We're working in a creative economy. We are helping emerging artists monetize their talent in one of the biggest industry and yet disconnected and word of mouth industry existing today. I will give you some figures about that. So if you are an artist in Europe, you get in average 15,000 euros per year, which is below poverty level in most of the European countries. For streaming services such as Spotify, musicians get in average 33 euros per month, with 67% of the money going to the top 10% of the artists. The truth is that 80% of the artists that don't live out of their craft. Despite the industry is big, the reason for that are for the lack of network, the lack of support, and the lack of access to economic opportunities. On the other side of the industry or the market, there are the businesses which are also struggling. 90% of business recognize artists as essential for their brand, but despite that, only 23% of them work with artists, and usually through middlemen. Among the businesses that work already with artists, which we categorize in talent buyer and talent manager, they are connected with just a small pool of artists, and they work in a very manual and not tech-enabled, in a very non-efficient way. So this is the status quo of the industry, is disconnected and efficient, with no solution or isolated solution for the most important use cases that you see here. So how we are solving that is by building the most efficient artistic ecosystem that puts the emerging artists at the center, that wants to be successful, and connect them with the businesses that wants to work with them and grow their brand, and with the audience that wants to connect with the artist. How does it work? Weavii is a professional network with a business model of a sustainable marketplace. Marketplace working on a transaction-based monetization model, and the SaaS in subscription and pay-per-use. And the solution that you see here are aimed to help the artist network collaborate and get access to economic opportunities, as well as helping a business in recruiting the best artists for the projects and brands, and be more efficient in working with them, and in general, grow the brand. There is a 50 billion market opportunity only in the Western world, which is broken, unstructured, and not digitized. This market is projected to grow to 130 billion by 2030, and we aim to get 10 million of that market in the first 2 years of operations. If we look at the competitive landscapes, we see as there are some group of tools that try to solve individual use cases, but always from the business perspective, and there is nothing that put the artist at the center and connect the dots of the industry around them. So this, we want to place Weavii in a different level, where we want to escape competition. This is our team. We have more than 20 years of accumulated experience in building world-class product with deep expertise in marketplace and SaaS solutions. Then is my co-founder, and then Sinat, my co-founder and CTO. A bit of our traction. In only a few months, we have more than 100 artists in waiting list, 5 business pilots, 5 investor loop, and 6 international partners, among which a company in the Indonesian market endorsed by the Ministry of Creative Economy, and a Grammy nominee and TED Talker artist that is working with us, partnering with us. This is our vision. We aim to revolutionize the artistic landscape by empowering artists to reach the full potential and seize economic opportunities, making art and creativity ubiquitous. And here is our ask. We're looking for 1 to 1.2 million to utilize the thriving product market fit for the professional network, which is our current MVP. Find product market fit for the opportunity marketplace. So the introduction of when we introduce business in the network, and develop an initial SaaS solution for the first beachhead business in the artist hiring and management. And of course, the marketing, branding activities, expenses to grow the network. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fabio. I've been there. So I really enjoyed acting for almost 10 years. I was extremely poor. No way, 30,000 per month. I think it was not even crossing 12,000 per year. Sorry, per year. I'm not even crossing 1,000 per month. So I know perfectly what is the pain. If you can actually make money, be an artist, there's nothing better probably in life. Although I'm not absolutely complaining where I am today. I enjoy what I'm doing. Dean, everything is yours.
Okay, my friend. So Fabio, what cloud framework are you using for your solution?
We're using our web service, and we mix it up with GraphQL for relational database for, classic, a very good tool for the artistic, for like a professional network.
So whose blockchain solution are you using? Ethereum,
So
Ledger?
Yeah, so we don't have a blockchain solution introduced now in the MVP. The blockchain solution will come in the third phase of the development of the platform that are aim to do audience engagement, so to bring the artist close to the audience and help the artist monetize their audience, especially what in this market are called super fans. And we will use the blockchain infrastructure to help to empower the dynamics, the monetization dynamics for audience engagement.
Gotcha. So from an expansion standpoint, how are you planning to expand into the U.S. market?
For the US market, so first of all, we're already discussing with some potential partners to expand in that market. There are two channels here. One is for what we consider. One is the artist, of course, and these are let's say small user in terms of like one user. And then in business, we categorize between small and big entities. The small entities through marketing channels and partnership programs to advertise the platform, and while the big players in the industry through direct sales or business development activities, which is they are planned at financial plan. So
from your deck, I see that you're just planning to support creators.
Yeah.
Are you looking to also support athletes into your program? So here in the United States, let me give you an example. We have what is called name, image, likeness, or NIL, right? For collegiate athletes to make money off of their name, their image, and their likeness. And of course, the professionals already do that through whatever professional league they're in. Do you plan to play in that space? It would seem a natural fit for you.
It is a fit. I agree. We don't have as initial target group athletes. Although I consider athletes a form of art, we are looking at the performance artist and the visual artist at first, starting especially from the performance one, for how we grew the connection and the network. And later on, they might be a target group. But yeah, to answer your question, they're not our first target group.
Gotcha. That's all I have, my good friend.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you.
Fabio, if I may, you mentioned blockchain as well as AI. We all know that AI now it's mandatory in any deck because I had to be honest, the last 200, 300 decks have been seen as many. They all have AI, any kind of. So, but we know AI is not the business. You know, AI, it's for you, any founder implementing, give you a new tool which should apply to make your business more productive. In the end of the day, turning some money back to you and some money back to the shareholders, and of course, having the stakeholders having a better experience and usage of your service. Now, where do you see AI playing in your platform or business, as you want to call?
Yes, thanks. A very good question. So initially, AI will be used for two main scopes. One is matchmaking. For how the platform is structured, using the information that we have to match artist to artist and artist to business. So the perfect match, including different inputs, data. And in communication, there is a gap also communication between a business and artist. So communication includes three different aspects. One is plain communication, so verbal communication. The other one is financial communication. The third one is legal communication. And our plans are to use AI for the legal tech solution of the platform inside, which is because we found this is a hassle for the business in this field, and for the various aspects of the payment model or the financial models that different businesses have. The matchmaking and creating profiles, like this is like a bit medium term, matchmaking short term, creating artistic profile on each user is the medium term way to paint a picture, artistic picture of the artist, which will help them scale and monetize, like finding better conversion of their artistic endeavor.
Can I ask one more question, Max? Can I ask one more question?
Of course.
From an IP perspective, right? From copyright and making sure that you protect the artist, because I'm a firm believer in making sure that artists get their money, but more so that their art does not get stolen.
Yeah.
How, if you haven't implemented blockchain, so what is your current formation or infrastructure that enables protection of artists?
Yeah, this is a good question, and regrettably, we don't have a full answer yet. We have ideas on, blockchain is just a medium, right? But blockchain is the perfect medium to work on IP management, because artists work strongly with IP and protecting their creations. We are already in talks to make discovery also for the Indonesian market, where we have a strong partner, and this is one of the points and agenda. But we don't have a full answer yet. Like now, what we're doing now is creating the network and solving the first 2-3 important use cases for the problem. Later on in the platform, we will have an architecture where creation are going to be uploaded to the platform and will be embedded to the artist using this technology, so that the platform itself will work as a guarantee to protect IP and to have IP management directly.
Yeah, I'm going to give you one tip. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
We look at the top 3 competitors in the cloud space right now, which is AWS, Microsoft, and Google. And look at the frameworks that they're building, because they have existing frameworks that could protect you day one, right? If you just migrate over to their platforms. So I would highly advise you to look at that, because each one is going to have an intricate part that can play in protecting the copyright and intellectual property of the artist, because that's going to provide trust. And right now, Weavii is an unknown name and an unknown brand, and you need to build trust fast, okay? And people need to understand that if they're going to put or host anything in your platform, that it's going to be safe and protected.
Thanks for the advice. I will definitely take it and look into it. Thanks. Thanks, Dean.
Thanks, Dean. Thanks, Fabio. I'll move to last but absolutely not the least founder, Stephan Haymerle, founder of Schrankerl. I hope I've been pronouncing decently well the name. Vienna, Austria is headquartered, food tech, the industry, pre-seed series round, 3 million euro is the ask. How's it going, Stephan?
Very good. Thanks, Max, for the introduction. We're
so
switching
much for
completely topic here in
Let's
Europe.
go.
It's about dinner time. And we're switching topic. I'm the founder of Schrankerl. We are a food tech company here in Austria, as you already heard. And I will talk a little bit about how to improve our lunch breaks here in the DACH region. Because if we look into the market, we have on the one side a majority of employees that are not happy with their lunch solution. They don't have enough time because walking to the supermarket, ordering online or getting takeaway is just very time consuming. And the majority, 75%, are rating their employers with a structured food solution much higher. So companies should listen to this need that people want this lunch break solved. And on the other hand, we have 75% of CEOs in the DACH region who want their staff more back to the office post-corona. And I think like Google, Facebook are just one of the big names that we know globally who did those initiatives to bring people back. And the second big influence is 87% of the companies in the DACH region, they cannot fill their positions, their open positions. And a majority, almost 50%, are saying that they are losing revenues because of shortage of employees. So on the one hand, we have employees saying, we want to have a solution for the lunch break. On the other hand, we have companies fighting for employees. And that's where we come into with our business model. And we are creating a completely new office culture where employees have a place to come together, share ideas, and enjoy a delicious break. And that makes companies more attractive and employees happy. And we're currently serving more than 100 CEOs here in Austria, and they make their employees happy with our solution. And that works with partners. So we have a network of food partners, excellent chefs who cook for us. We organize the delivery to our fridges that are 24/7 available. You can just use our app, open the fridge, take out whatever you want, and it's automatically built. So within 2 minutes, a few steps from your work desk, you have your lunch solution ready. And this is unique in Austria, this variety of food, the availability and the sustainability. And that makes already thousands of employees happy here in Austria. And what makes us really different is that we are like the first ones who provide restaurant quality at your desk without pre-ordering and without the company having to install a canteen with staff and chefs on site. We already have a lot of different companies as our clients, major companies, and they already use Schrankerl as their employer benefit, and they also advertise it. And this is the investment case. We are currently growing really strong. We're currently slightly above 300,000 monthly revenue, and this is increasing every month. And our aim, you can see our traction, bootstrapped. We started in 2021. 2022, we launched our first new cities, and we are currently having 100 fridges installed. And we are looking to expand in Austria before going abroad. Here you can see this is a map of Austria for the people from further away, a country with about 9 million inhabitants. And we grow here really rapidly. And we want to be ready to take a step into our neighboring country, Germany, which is like 10 times larger. The majority of the investment of 3 million will go into the food readiness, smart planning, which is a big part of our backbone. It's a technology that we develop ourselves. And of course, growth, so marketing, sales to get new clients, and operational expansion. And I want to emphasize a little bit more on the tech side because this is food that is in the ultra fresh segment, so 2 to 5 days lasting. And we are deciding what amount to deliver to what location, and not the customer. So we don't have a pre-order. We need to understand what our customers are eating and want to eat. And that's why we're developing to use our data that we have from our customers. For example, next week, there will be lasagna. Through the 100 and in the future 1,000 locations, how much portions should we deliver for each location based on past data, and also based on other influences, like outside influences like weather or holidays, for example. So this is a large part to be scalable in this industry. Yeah, we have a great team, already a lot of people. We want to build a great company, and we're looking for investors who come from the food industry and who love to bring restaurant quality to every office in the DACH region. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Stephan. That's a very solid company. Although very young, looks pretty solid. That's my opinion. Dean, please, all about
Sure.
you.
Okay. So I see that CBRE is one of your, are they one of your partners or customers or both?
Customer.
They're your customer right now. Okay. So let me give you some inside information. CBRE is one of the largest property management companies in the world. So they're going to know who's in their buildings, right? They're going to know who has cafeterias and who has cafes inside their buildings. I would highly recommend that you get somebody high up in that company to sit on your board, because they're going to provide you insights that typically most people won't have. And they're going to let you know, hey, this company is set up this way because we built it, right? So they're going to give you the insight that you're going to need to do this, because here in the US, right, considering I used to work for Microsoft. So if you go out to Redmond, you wouldn't stand a chance, because the campus is built in such a way that you don't have to leave the campus. They have food everywhere, everywhere. Okay, we've got your 5-star requirements down to your 1-star requirements. So they meet all needs, all times of the day. So people, you could practically sleep there if you wanted to. Okay, so you've got to look at the different markets and the different way that you're going. So you want to definitely have CBRE as a partner. First
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for advice. And a good example about Microsoft or Google, because they have great canteens and super service from breakfast to dinner.
Exactly.
And we want to make that possible for companies not large enough or with the money to build such an infrastructure.
Right. And that's the target market that you guys should be shooting for. So it tells me that you're thinking about this right.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
The next thing I wanted to ask you was, hold on one second. I have my questions posted here in my deck. Don't go anywhere. Where did I put it? Hold on. Okay. So from the IoT framework that you're planning on building, whose cloud are you leveraging to build out this whole infrastructure?
So I think we're also on AWS. I'm not the tech part because I'm in sales marketing, but as far as I know, it's on AWS. Yeah.
So let me give you another part you're going to run into, especially if you come here to the US, right? And I'm sure if you go to places like Germany and France, where GDPR is like priority, and they have some, like in Germany, they actually have their own Azure cloud. So it's not even the same shared cloud that everybody else has. Privacy is going to be a big issue. So imagine back in 2006, and I was working at IBM, and IBM was one of the first creators of RFID technology. And what they were struggling with here in the United States was the overall privacy infrastructure for deploying RFID, because no one could swear that the RFID tag turns off inside the machine. Once you pull something out of the machine, what happens to that RFID tag? You know, because at the end of the day, they don't want people tracking people or tracking into their private movements. Because if you can do that, that's going to be a serious problem, right?
I mean,
so that's that you need to consider.
Yeah. I mean, the use case usually with the RFID tag is that it's on the lid of the packaging, and that usually
but that lid, if that lid goes back on that package and it then goes to someone's home, now can you see the problem? Now you've invaded that person's home and you've invaded their privacy. And most people will not like that. That's why they haven't been so quick to deploy that technology here in the US.
I mean, as far as I know, there's also different RFID technologies. Ours is an ultra short one, which is only detected about 30 centimeters. That's why it works really well in the RFID fridge, where you have a closed boundary.
Right.
I would imagine it's difficult to like geographically track it. But yeah, I will definitely take it into consideration if we go to other countries.
But I mean, I love the idea. Like I told you earlier when we were on the call, I have been in the food business for over 20 years. So I love the idea. I love the concept. And I think you guys are thinking about this right, as far as, you know, the companies that are smaller and don't have the full cafe, full cafeteria experience. You would be a perfect fit because, like you said, you've identified the problem clearly. People most likely only have 15 minutes to eat lunch during the day. Because if you have to leave your campus and drive somewhere, that's going to be a predicament, especially in a city as big as Dallas, right? It's horrendous. Traffic around here is horrendous around lunchtime. And people, like I said, like you identified earlier, don't have a lot of time to eat. And then your choices are bad when you only have 15 minutes, because now you don't have a waiting period that you can wait in a restaurant or a quick service restaurant. So no, I get it, my friend.
You should work in sales for us in the US.
Hey,
no, you brought it very much to the point. Yeah.
We do consulting at our company, so call me.
I mean, it's a very far step for an operational business, but I love that you're a foodie as well, and it's I mean, it's an everyday problem that currently no one really addresses at the office side, at least. Yeah. I mean,
well, it's so multifaceted because traffic, you know, time, you got to get back and forth to work, and all of that stuff plays into your ability to eat. Most people don't even think about that. And then your choice of what you're going to eat. And then another question I just remembered, culturally, how are you guys dealing with different types of cultures within your food choices? Because like here in the United States, we've got so many different cultures here, and you're trying to appease everybody to make sure that people's needs, and that will lure them back into the office. So culturally, what are you guys doing around your food options and food choices?
Yeah, so I mean, we don't cook ourselves. We have partners, and if you just take as an example a curry, if it's cooked by an Austrian chef, it tastes like an Austrian curry. If you take an Indian chef, it tastes like a more original curry. So we're looking for the right partners for each type of food, and based on also the data that we get from customers and feedback on the individual companies, we know what kind of food should they have. But then in the country itself, it's on the average employee. If you have 100 employees, the average will eat a pretty not similar, but over this population, there's people eating traditional Austrian, there's people eating vegan, vegetarian. Italian is, at least in Austria, a very large group. Everyone is eating pasta, lasagna. So yeah.
So from a historical data, because it doesn't sound like you're going to have a lot of historical data from multicultural, you know, aspects. So how do you guys plan to kind of offset that to make sure that you're giving people good choices and good options?
So there's like two ways in the onboarding. We get feedback on their food preferences from every employee, and with that we're building this map of one company, and then it's the consumption data, and then a large driver is just the quality of the food. So if our customers, they know that our food in general has a good quality, then people would also take an option that they probably wouldn't order online or something like that. But they know they try new food as well because they know the quality is just really good. And that buffers a lot of that you cannot match everyone's taste.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one free tip here.
Always.
So I used to be a director of food services for 2 hospitals. And what I did when we changed the menu, I actually ordered food that I wanted them to try to get it onto the menu, right? So that may be an option for you guys, especially, you know, if you want to introduce different types of cuisine into the environment, that may be a good choice for you, because you're not going to have any historical data. You're not going to have any surveys. You're not going to have anything to base your decision-making process on. So I'm just throwing that out there to you, my friend.
Thanks a lot.
All righty.
Appreciate it.
Great talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dean Stephan. We are already crossing 1 hour. We've done extremely well our first day on X, crossing 100 viewers live. That's pretty astonishing. Thank you so much, team. And as we need to bring all our funders, but before, let me ask you, going straight to the question of Dean, how many times you change your menu in terms of, let's say, turnover?
So every week we have about 30 products. With every delivery, our customers are getting new products, and every week you get new products. So we have currently about 800 different products in our portfolio that we can select every week. Because our customers are regular customers. It's not like a restaurant with 10,000 possible clients who come once a month, but we have clients coming 3 times a week. So we need a very strong changing assortment. Yeah.
In terms of non-consumed meals, what's going to happen? Do you return them to the producers? How does it work?
So no, we donate them. So we just don't want them thrown away. So we have a part that's not sold products, and we have 2 models that we pursue. There's one, a Friday discount, a very strong discount for people who are actually in the office on Friday, and donating the rest that our logistic is taking back, and when they do a new refill.
That's beautiful that you're donating. What's the lifetime? So 1 meal when done, for how long it lasts?
Depending on the product, between 2 and 7 days. Yeah, in the fresh segment, and then you have porridge, yogurts, snacks, drinks that they last longer. But a wrap salad 2 days, a curry, a cooked meal, depending on the partner, up to 7 days, without preservatives, without artificial atmosphere in the packaging. So it's completely natural.
Yeah, pretty fresh. Stephan, thank you so much. Stay there, because we're bringing all of funders right now all back. So let me start with OIumide. OIumide, in your best elevator pitch ever, in 20, maximum 30 seconds, convincing Dean today we have many. Today, by far, we had the best day of the year. We crossed 150 US live. So we finished with 300. Another 150 post live. So it's been very great today. You have been very lucky. So try to convince some of the investors watching today. Why invest in your startup? No more than 30 seconds, please.
All right. Thank you so much, Max. And of course, EquityMatch, like I mentioned, and of course, Dean, like I mentioned in my pitch, we are here to solve the problems for diasporans. It's a major problem. There are so many people in the diaspora, and we need to have things done. So please join us, invest in this company. It's already a proven system. We just need the right partners. We need the right money, and we need funding to get to the next level. So definitely we're not going to disappoint you. We are here to make sure things are done properly. So thank you so much. Looking forward to hearing from people. Our website is helpmewaka.com, and you can always send an email to us. It's helpme@helpmewaka.com. Thank you.
Thank you, OIumide. Jurij.
Well, hopefully you invest in BrainTrip because you firmly believe, like we do, that the hundreds of millions of people who suffer from brain diseases require and deserve fast, affordable, and scalable diagnostic options. And currently, sadly, these are available for a mere 8% of cases. So at BrainTrip, we've developed a scalable means to detect brain diseases by using EEGs in an affordable, scalable, and non-invasive way. And we hope you'll support us.
Thank you so much, Jurij. Fabio.
Thanks, Max. Yeah, we are building something that the industry needs, and one of the most disconnected ones. We already have international partners, and looking at the market, we see proof of needs for a central hub that unify all the players in this industry. We're building the equivalent of LinkedIn for artistic ecosystem. We are super happy to have a chat talk and give some more details in what we are doing, and also into our financials projection and our plans and vision for the future. So if you're interested in the culture and artistic industry, please get in touch. Our contacts are here. So looking forward to connect with you.
Thank you, Fabio. Stephan.
Hello, everyone. To all investors from the DACH region who love to eat great food. If you want to bring restaurant quality into offices in the DACH region, we are the right partner to change how people eat at work.
Thank you so much, Stephan. Dean, as we are closing, do you want to give any advice or recommendation, something more? You've done already a lot to our fund.
No, I just think, like you said earlier, this is probably one of the best groups that we've had thus far. It's right in my wheelhouse, so I'm loving every last one of these companies. So I'm looking forward to having an additional conversation with each one of them.
Thank you so much, Dean. As we are closing, we go live, as you know, on X, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. You can see this pitch event as all the previous one on our YouTube channel, EquityMatch YouTube channel, and you can go directly to funders. We do not charge any form of fee, even a pound. So all the money you can get directly in touch with them. This is why we give you the email and all that information. You can come to us. We are more than pleased to make a warm introduction. Again, thank you to everyone. We are back again, not next week, but the week after, because I will be traveling this week. And thank you so much. Today we had a very, very great day. We by far destroyed any previous record, so I'm very happy. Thank you, guys. Thank you again, and see you next. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.